What is up guys, Zanif Tech is back and I'm here to do a comparison video of the new features that we gained with the iPhone XS and the XS Max compared to the old iPhone X that we got last year. And you'll see some key differences, but overall the iPhone X is the footprint for all of these new devices. The XR, the XS Max, and the iPhone XS are all set upon the actual iPhone X, and the only differences on the outside are very small. You can see on the front of the devices, they look identical. The only difference between the XS Max and the X is the size of the display and also the size of the actual chassis. When you put both devices side by side, you will notice, like I said before, their characteristics are identical. You will get the same volume buttons, the same trims, the same colors from last year, besides the new gold color of course. But otherwise, you're looking at the exact same phone with very small changes like the antenna bands on the top and the bottom on the XS. But overall, you won't know there's a difference between these devices unless you're really tech savvy and you see the Max in hand. On the bottom, you will notice that there's not a symmetrical number of holes anymore for the speakers, and that is due to the addition of the new bands they used for the LTE signaling and possibly Wi-Fi chips inside the new phones. The sides of the devices are identical, pretty much just like the rest of the phone. You get your volume rocker, the vibrate switch, and the antenna bands on both sides, top and bottom, and also your SIM card tray and power button. Nothing changed on that side, and Apple kept it the same. You may be wondering, since everything else is the same, is also the camera the same? It is, but something is different, because on the iPhone XS cases, if you put an iPhone X in them, you will notice there's a slight gap around the camera. That means the camera did protrude out a little more and it's wider. Apple isn't really keeping up with its old traditions, where it used to keep a little S badge on the bottom underneath the iPhone text, and this year we did not get it on our S models at all. Here I'll be running in Geekbench with Geekbench 4, and we'll see the scores between the devices. There is some type of lag on the iPhone XS Max that I do get sometimes when using them side by side, and it's maybe a possibility because I am running iOS 12.1 beta. It's pretty stable overall, but maybe that's the main reason why I'm getting this type of lag. Here are the scores for both devices, and you can see the iPhone XS Max is pretty much better in the single core score, but the multi-core score for some reason is lower on the XS Max than the actual 10. Like I said, I am running iOS 12.1 beta, and they do tend to change in scores during the betas. But overall, I did notice this phone is a lot faster and quicker in opening apps and doing other various tasks on my iPhone XS Max. Apple did add some new tweaks to the camera app on the iPhone X and XS, and they're not going to add it to the iPhone X in my opinion because it is a selling feature for the new devices. But basically, when you use portrait mode and take a selfie or a picture with the back camera, you'll be able to actually move the bokeh slider so that you can actually change the effect of the blur in your photo. This is after you've taken the photo. Some sources say that later on with iOS updates, we're actually going to be able to change the bokeh in live preview mode, just like right now. So you'll be able to set up the picture exactly how you want it, how far you want it, and also how much blur there is in the background before you even take the picture, so you can save yourself some time instead of doing it in post editing. That will be a really neat feature, but I did notice that the cameras are a lot better on the iPhone XS in low light photography and videography. If you had an iPhone 6s Plus, 7, or even an 8 Plus, you will remember this special mode that is added on to the XS Max. It is called Display Zoom, and you can actually make everything bigger on the actual phone. I'm not talking about just the actual text size like any other iPhone can, but the actual icons, the notification banner at the top with all the toggles, everything gets bigger, even your messages bubbles. Here I'll be doing a comparison of the speed test on the new Wi-Fi chip inside the XS Max, and in my opinion, almost every time that I ran the speed test, the phone did have double the score of the iPhone X. Sometimes there was a change, but that's maybe due to the number of devices on my Wi-Fi network, so that does happen. But in overall day-to-day use, I did notice that it's almost double the speeds, which is a great improvement, especially if you're watching videos and you don't want it to load, or you're downloading something onto your iPhone directly, then this is a big bonus. I did notice that the upload speeds were double as well, so you could use that for other features like uploading pictures on Facebook, Instagram, or anything you would do online that required you to upload something from your internet connection. I'm really glad that they did that, and I can show you right now that I'm on the exact same Wi-Fi network, so it is something to do with the chip and the better technology that I've implemented inside the new iPhone XS and XS Max. We did gain dual SIM capability on the new iPhone XS, XS Max, and even the XR. I did notice the SIM card trays are a bit thicker on the iPhone XS Max, and that's possibly due to the international versions that have actual 2 SIM cards instead of an eSIM. Here I'm comparing the LTE speeds this time, not the Wi-Fi speeds, the LTE speeds. It is kind of a bummer to me because I tried this multiple times, and for some reason the XS Max is getting lower speeds than my iPhone X on T-Mobile. Both devices are on T-Mobile, on the exact same plan, account, everything is the exact same, but for some reason I'm getting lower speeds. I don't know if that's specifically T-Mobile and the location I'm doing the speed test at, but for some reason it was always like that, and other sources online and videos showed that it was double, just like the Wi-Fi speeds. Maybe it'll be fixed in a future update, or maybe it's just my connection. And that's my comparison of the iPhone XS Max to the old iPhone X. If you liked the video, give me that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Zenith Tech is out.